Just want to say good afternoon to all our viewers out there. This afternoon, we just want to take the opportunity to welcome everyone. As you guys come on, we love for you to also share the feed. So this afternoon, I'm here on the program. Together we rise, building our nation, with one of my longtime friend, Mr. Knute Barkley, man that hails out of St. Mary. As I said, this friendship goes back a long way from 1997. So you can tell it's over 25 years we have known each other, College of Agriculture, Science and Education. And in that sense, I just want to take a minute to give a big shout out to all my case graduates, especially the batch of 2000. We just want to big up everyone from the batch of 2000. And, we know what we've been through, the early morning wake up, the work ethic, the discipline, work and integrity. We stand on that. And we just want to say, a big welcome to you all. And I just want to present to you now Mr. Knute Barkley. As I said, a man who is a councillor caretaker for the Anatomy Division right here in his hometown, St. Mary. And, with no delay, I just want Knute himself, to give a quick overview. So we just want to say welcome Knute Barkley to the program. Together we rise, building our nation.
Yes, man. Yeah, and the journey has been long. I mean, 19, a while we had talked before the program, and 1997 to now, we can't even we're not even realize it 25 years. Because it seems just like yesterday.
Yeah, man.
Want to take time out now to, introduce myself to who hasn't already know who I am. I'm Knute Barkley, from Anatomy in St. Mary, Jamaica. So thanks for having me, Mr. Thomas.
Yes, welcome to the program. And we all know Knute, especially from college days. You're always a man who is a leader. We take it back to football. Always involved in sports. That is the first thing that stands out about you is that you're a man who always there on the football field. On the other side, I'm a cricketer, so I'm always there. So we always be sharing the same field at the College of Agriculture, Science and Education. And we all know you stand firm, especially on discipline, whether it be within the game, off the field. But when you talk, everybody listen to him here, because the man always have some good word, and at the same time, a jovial person.
Well, yeah, man. Yes, those were the days, we wish we could bring back some of those days. For one, for the youthfulness, I just say the beard start change color, So we know we're getting there. But as long as we're here, we just keep on doing the work. Sports has been everything. You know what I mean? Greatest motivations come through sports. It's always fun for zone out for that 90 minutes or that 1 hour or whatever time you're on the field just thinking about the game of football. It's one of the only thing that why, while you're playing this game, you don't remember nothing else except the game. So it kind of revive you every time you play and change the spirit and, fixate the mental.
Yeah,
Yeah,
boy.
man.
We can just say basically it's therapeutic.
Yes, man. Therapeutic. Very much so therapeutic. And we want to win. So we always try to dictate the game. We always tell the players them where them are do wrong. Always been the case. And surprisingly, some of the time people just tend to listen because we always, especially the game of football, we lead it by example. We try to make a little mistake, control pass. Little mistake. So it's the game we love. A lot of us think it's the biggest game on earth. So,
Well, I know somebody would they say the same thing, even though they play cricket like me, and this is a gentleman, Lenroy White. Yes, so I big up Lenroy White for coming on, calling Tom Lindsay. I just want to say thank you for coming on. Lenroy, Knute is your neighbor over there in Portland. Love cricket, but boy, I think him love football more. So, you have many people who share your interest, really.
yeah, man.
So, Newt, without any delay still, we know, you're a busy man lately. We all know that. But, we have seen where a lot of us have transitioned, now that, as you can see, the gray beards coming in. And, we have been to many
Yeah,
places over the years. And right now, we have seen you have make a big transition in terms of, we have seen you now entering into politics, and not just politics people. We just want to say this man is a community leader, always involved in community. So, I just want to ask you, what sparked your interest to divert, or just get into politics, or it was something that you were involved in all along?
yeah, man. You see, I grew up in a community and not to be, you know what I mean, one of them socially challenged community where we tend to direct a lot of energy toward negative stuff, So, and I have the honor of being grown or being birthed or being made by two professionals. You know what I mean? My mom was a teacher. Well, my mom is still a teacher at age 70 something. And my
Wow.
dad is a retired policeman. So the discipline always live inside of my dwellings. You know what I mean? And my parents always strike, even though it never work out all the time for them because we have our struggles, you know what I mean? Because during high school days, it was about girls and football, you know what I mean? And kind of get distracted a little bit, but we, picked it up and said, well, moving it on. And, you know what I mean? I never forget who was always left behind, you know what I mean? Because I have a lot of cousins where get misguided just to see them, a lot of friends, you know what I mean? Loved ones. So it's always a struggle for me to see somebody behind and me always trying to pull everyone when we meet. Everybody when me touch can say, me always have even a little inspiration for them. You know what I mean? But even if it's a little jewel, just a little gem, we share. So it the partnership that I formed with the community, you know what I mean, has been lifelong as far as I can see. Because ever since I know myself, you know what I mean, I was always trying to give in good advice and also, you know what I mean, helping to promote what we see going on in our community. So I think it's an obligation now that I, you know what I mean, matriculated on a different side in terms of growth and development, you know what I mean, and looking in the community, we see a lot of potential. A lot has been wasted and there's still a lot, you know what I mean? So I think my ambition is to foster and try to promote growth within ones and ones in our community, you know what I mean?
You said a lot there, Newt, but if I just want to take it on quickly to, what is the one thing you love the most about representing your community, especially that division in Anatolia?
Bringing people together. You know what I mean? One of the greatest joy for me is to see, you know what I mean, people together actively supporting each other. And you know what I mean, with most of the time when we say bring people together, it's like we think it's sports and entertainment. You know what I mean? Those are minute fraction of what coming together is in my mind and with the plans that I have for my community. You know what I mean? Because growing together, making money together, celebrating together, crying together is all a part of it. You know what I mean? And those are major if we're thinking about development in any community that we live, you know.
Well, that's some strong values, that you stand on there, in terms of community. I basically view my community the same way. I said, and this is probably one of the reasons why I kind of put this platform together. Together we rise, building our nation. And I just think if one person can help another person, then this world will be a better place, a stronger place. And I'm really proud of you to see the transition. But since we have a few case people pulling on here, Newt, before I even
Yes,
get
man.
further back into the community, could you just give us a synopsis of what happened, the transition from case to now? Probably some of the jobs that you have taken on and so forth. Like people can kind of see who you really is in terms of diversity.
All right. For the purpose for the purpose of open knowledge in terms of the audience and the people that this might reach. I want to even take it further back. You know what I mean? I want to take it further. I grew up in Anatomy. I went to Anatomy all age. You know what I mean? Graduated grade 6 and to first Titchfield High School, and then transferred from Titchfield to St. Mary High School in 8th grade. You know what I mean? I went to St. Mary High School for 5 years. Repeated fifth one because of football, just the same. And after what I call failure, but my mother and father saw something different because, you know what I mean, they were like, I never see you study and you managed to pass 3 subjects. So I don't think your story finish or your chapter close because my parents them always have faith. You know what I mean? Every faith in them children and know say none of us no weak or deficient in any way. So, you know what I mean? She was the teacher that had some students, grade 9 students going to a school called Nakalva over in Hanover. You know what I mean? Ramble, Hanover. You know what I mean? And she had some students going on there and she said, Knute, I think it's a good, it might seem like a few step back, but it's to make a big jump forward. And you know what I mean? I listened for a while and was there. I never got into that school till about mid-October because I was there, you know what I mean, at the age that I was, I could make decision for myself because that I was allowed to make decision for myself at that point.
Great.
And in the middle of October, I just get up on Friday and say, no, I'm not Nadine, we're going to Nakalva. And you know what I mean? Nakalva, I'm telling you, was when they in first year, you can't say it was a breath of fresh air, but when you complete the journey, it became that, you know what I mean? Because it's a very rough institution, you know, the ragging was heavy back in the day when I was going there, and the atmosphere was tense, especially if you're a government. You know what I mean? So I went to Nakalva where we start faster and introduce ourselves to the sciences and agriculture because going to high school was just a blur in terms of academia, you know what I mean? It's that's when everything all started. You know what I mean? We went to Nakalva and I went there late. And when I went there, because of the 3 subjects I had, they wanted to push me into second year. But for the first 2 weeks, they have me with the first year. So after the third, when the third week come, I tell them we'll stay in the first year because we start develop camaraderie with the first year. So we kind of tell we'll stay in our first year. And if January I feel any different, we change, you know what I mean? And that happened and we went through Nakalva. It was rough, but a lot of us, you know what I mean? A lot of us, actually about 25 of us matriculated from Nakalva to the College of Agriculture. You know what I mean? And it was the same, or just around the same amount from our brother school, Elim also. So we had a big batch over in case where I come and meet you guys. You know
Oh,
what I mean? So we
tell us
had like
about that.
45 of us with the same mentality. So case became what it was in our time because of some of the forces that we had. And we have some very bright fellows, we have some very serious fellows, you know what I mean? We have some good footballers, good cricketers, just the same. You know what I mean? Because while you're a star in cricket, we're over there on the other side of the pitch playing football. You know what I mean? When we went to Case only played Division 2. And after our first year, we went to Division 1 and it not since then to now the progression you have seen the improvement and the progression of the football team over there. And the cricket program just the same, you know what I mean? The girls always play netball and play some good game because whenever we travel with the females. You know what I mean? So Case, some of the most, you know what I mean, humbling years. 3 of the most humbling years, you know what I mean? We get to live closely with people because remember, Ian, when we went in 2000, there was They take in more people than beds that they had. Yeah, you know what I mean? So they had a problem with our batch since, and they tried everything. They gave us what 13 courses plus farm practice the first semester.
They said they wanted to kill us, boss.
Yeah, well, not kill, cull. Kill kind of strong. Some people died inside, you know what I mean, after losing out even after the first semester. You know what I mean? Them start drop the axe. You know what I mean? They gave us 13 courses plus farm practice. You know, we have to get up 5 o'clock in the morning for either attend to the animals or agronomy side of the thing. You know what I mean? So it was tough. Wake up 5 o'clock,
That,
especially for the people like you coming out of high school. We had prior experience at Nakalva with this, but the high school, a lot of the high school kids that came in at that time, they lean on us a lot who had that prior experience, especially with milking cows and all them things there. So I think it was good. I
well,
think it was good.
I'm gonna stop you right there, Mute. I'm gonna stop you right there, and many of our viewers on here would say the same thing. I think that 3 years that we spent at KISS, College of Agriculture Science and Education, that is what make us into the person we are today. In that, I can tell you that agricultural program have built us in a way that we could adapt wherever we go in society, And if I could do it all over again, definitely I go back there for another 3 years, probably 3 years after the 50. So I know Tanika O'Connor is planning a reunion for us all, and I'm looking forward to that, when we all get back there and just get back, that love that you talk about, that family, that brotherhood, just growing up, coming from different background and coming into it. As you
Um,
mentioned, Nakalva and Elam, you guys were kind of tough already, was well built. You're used to the kind of rough ragging and all them stuff, grubbing. But, for us as high school student, I am telling you, it wasn't an easy task. Just getting up in the morning alone was challenging. Then before you reach back and had breakfast, as you mentioned about the 13 subject, would have to be back in the classroom. It was really a tough period, but I am telling you that have built us, and as Todd said here, built our character and our integrity as we move through life. So really, really, really give thanks to Case. So turn it back over to you.
yeah, man, case. We can't go around with life at case. You know what I mean? It has helped to mold us. You know what I mean? And we have seen people gone off into so many other fields. You know what I mean? From agriculture, because agriculture is a science based. The program is a science based program which allow you to transfer credits to matriculate in several, actually many different disciplines. And I mean, almost every discipline you can jump off the agriculture. And then you don't have much coursework. You don't have to cover the coursework you cover because everything that we do is transferable. You know what I mean? So it was good there. You know what I mean? The journey. And then in case I have a great friend, Wayne Mitchell, great Timpy. Me and him a come from
Come on.
19. Me and Wayne a come from 1987. And we
Wow.
went to we went to Titchfield together, you know what I mean, same class. When him a print the jersey, because I him a print the jersey, them him print Timpy number 9 and Knute number 8, and him know me at the number 9. You know what I mean? So, I want to have a great friend that when we the college, me and Timpy used to always surf off, some different kind of meditation, you know what I mean? A lot of, you know what I mean? And Timpy always say, if a negative, you always a lead this thing. If a positive, you always a lead this thing. You need to jump in at this politics ring, because we see say
Okay.
people tend to follow you, you know what I mean? People listen to you, people follow you. Because we live with positivity, even when the situation negative, we try if we not get it. No, we can't get in a serious problem. You know what I mean? So from then, from case, you know what I mean, with the vision came, you know what I mean, and we graduated 2000, and I tell you, I have one of the roughest time, because I never get no rest. From I go school till me, I left Cape, I finished internship the Friday and got the job at Coffee Board the Monday. So
Wow.
I never even get a chance to go surf and to go look. Actually, I get the job without a resume. As I heard about the job, my computer was down, couldn't get for print a resume, and my handwriting not nice. I wrote it down, but I went to the interview when they asked for my resume. I told them that it's all in my head. And they laugh, everybody laugh. I show them what I had and I tell them the situation. I tell them that, you know what I mean, I wouldn't let that discourage me from coming to, because, you know what I mean, one of the few prestige at the government, at the public sector is the Coffee Industry Board. You know what I mean, Petrojam Coffee Industry Board. Those are the big fingers at the government sectors, you know what I mean? So got a job in Coffee Board. And then when the politics start rise, you know what I mean? Because Coffee Board is a statutory body where basically, oh yeah, we can gloat on it for a little minute because I was one of only 3 cup testers in the entire island. You know what I mean? We used to do quality assurance for the Blue Mountain and the Lowland Coffee. You know what I mean? So at Coffee Board, that those were the objectives, those were the main priority, but the politics grew. You know what I mean? Because when we sit at the cup test table in the daytime, we have people like Errol Ennis, Raja Clark, sometimes the Governor General pop in and sit with us. Ronnie Tweets always pop in and sit with us. And you know what I mean, the influences start growing, you know what I mean? And from college we are listen to Muta Baruch and we are read Marcus Garvey and we touch Michael Manley as a great one just the same. You know what I mean? So we influence into politics. It started from a route where some radical socialists basically, you know what I mean, we listen to them and we start listening to Minister Farrakhan, you know what I mean, some real radical people where stand up on every ground to defend them black brothers everywhere in the world anyway, you know what I mean? So it was always a thing. So when we're in a Coffee Board now and we have all these influences coming around us, which we start to the politics from a different lens. You know what I mean? From a more managerial side instead of from the people. You know what I mean? And we have people from both sides. So we have discussions daily on issues were happening in the country. You know what I mean? And at that time, the People's National Party was in real swing. You know what I mean? That was, you know, the heart of PJ Patterson administration. You know what I mean? And he was accomplishing so much and became so admirable, you know what I mean, in terms of his leadership styles and governance. You know what I mean? And how we manage the people, how we manage the government, how we manage his constituency and our own. You know what I mean? How we juggled everything and did it so well because, you know what I mean, we really think about it, he has been an opposition to one of the most cantankerous, man. Nothing personal against the late Honorable Edward Stiaga, but he was one of them where back in the days when him and Manley used to go at it, it was rough and Comrade Patterson just come about and it was like, you can't tell me one instance where they went at it ever, you know, as long as they were leader and opposition. It no matter how it comes, so is the media has influenced a lot in terms of even how I go about day to day. You know what I mean, how you handle certain situation and you know have to win up front when the lights on. You know what I mean? When you win, you win. So we allow people, so you know what I mean, the influence for the politics came there and it grew. You know what I mean? I came back home to another bay and start managing Axum. You know what I mean? That was about 2001. A year in working for the Coffee Industry Board. I came in managing, you know what I mean? So you may take over your interview, you know, man. I
No,
used
man,
to ask the
that's
question.
exactly what people are learning about you. You know, I'm just here to foster
Yeah,
you. As I say, this platform is one help the other, basically. So, you know, we're here, and
yeah, man.
it is good that you can share somebody get in depth to know who you are and who's representing them and what you
Yeah,
stand on the
man.
ground and so forth.
Yeah, man. So we came back about 2001 where we managed the community team, which is Oxum Football Club, you know what I mean? We played in the second tier A League. We came third that year, you know what I mean? And it was just for, you know what I mean, some issues within the team that I thought that we weren't the team promoted to the Premier League that year, you know what I mean? Which would be 2002 season, 2002, 2003 season. I managed Oxum for about 5 years, you know what I mean? After which I became popular in the community, more popular in the community now as an adult and with positive influence, you know what I mean? So we did that for a while and then we migrated. In 2006, I migrated to the United States, which, you know what I mean, there are different level of transition take place because me and you link up back at Florida again.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And whenever I means our abilities where we learn in them case and not Calva, you know what I mean? Because we fit in. We went there and we know exactly say we never go for court no court. You know what I mean? So we did what we went to do. You know what I mean? Because when there 2006, start working as a pest control inspector. And while I was making good money working with this company, but in terms of I found that working for these kind of people sometimes when I really appreciate what you're doing, just kind of crush the love where you are, the passion where you have to do, or take the sting out of what you're doing. I mean, so it was just start eat a food business. I'm going to go through case, I'm going to go through Nakalva. So we not come a road for us, so we come to do it. You know what I mean? So I quit that job and quit without even knowing what the next position was. You know what I mean? We
Started
just
and
quit
create that.
that. Yeah, we just say we are stop and we stop because that's how we work. You know what I mean? We say we not do something, we not do it. And then the day we stop and say we're not doing this anymore, we just stop. You know what I mean? So I quit without knowing and going to the gym morning and evening. One day I went one afternoon, I was coming from the gym and I see a guy in his trunk and somebody when I notice all the while, 10 o'clock in the morning, him the home. You where I go outside in at the night time and you see him I go work. So I stop him one day and say, yo, what kind of job you do? Cause you know we're inquisitive as Jamaican. Cause even when I went there, nobody not called to nobody. I'm change the culture. Cause I call to everybody. I call to them till them answer. You know what I mean? Still every little thing in my community, people start call me. You know what I mean? So one of them situation where I talk to the guy and ask him what him do and him tell me, him say, you know nothing about petroleum. I say, well, yeah, I work across from it when we there at Jamaica because coffee board was right across the street. And that is as much as we know. So him say, you can at least the math, you can do maths. I mean, I say, what a situation. And him say, you have to do a maths exam and if you go further than that, if you can pass, if you can master the math exam, we get you go further. You know what I mean? So I went and did the maths exam and I got the job as a
Oh,
petroleum inspector.
all right,
Total different field.
before you get this, hold it, Mr. Ishmael in college, the math specialist. If you can pass that course and make it to a case, but I know where you couldn't pass.
Yeah, but the maths wasn't even maths. The maths was some arithmetic. It was some fraction. It's just add because they want to know if you can manipulate the tape and if you can read certain things. So the questions was some fraction adding and subtracting fractions mostly. They ask some stuff like, you know what I mean, some question like what is relative density, you know what I mean, the things them where we sleep and so them never leave us, you know what I mean. So it wasn't hard. I had some petroleum questions and some industry questions, but that was kind of challenging, but we use common sense and kind of cover them. Yeah, man. So I just say Mr. Ishmael, Mr. Ishmael. if you go around for a match game, there's not much more challenge for you out there. You know what I mean? Because we start feel from the language barrier we present when it comes to dealing with him in the maths class. Them, you know what I mean? Till we learn how to deal with him. It never take we long. It was just that the little course them, the little test them and have lecture theater there. The little thing there. So Ishmael. Yeah man, we have some great lecturers over there. Yeah
So,
man.
so you get into the petroleum industry. Tell us about that part. And
Yeah
I mean,
man.
know
Well,
you're back in Jamaica now, so we know there was another transition at some point.
yeah man, that's where we really start as the mother said turn money now. You know what I mean? Cause I got a job in Port Everglades. And you know what I mean, if anybody know the Florida area, I know, you know what I mean, you have like maybe about 12 petroleum corporations all together in one field, one petroleum field, you know what I mean? So we have basically 12 terminals working with. So, you know what I mean? We're working with BP, Valeria S, all the company, Texaco, Shell, all the company, Chevron, all of them. You know what I mean? And we work with the traders, Transmontane, Trafigura, all of these companies we start working with now. You know what I mean? So that total different ball game where this is where the discipline, where we learn in a knockout case and the quality management or whenever they like. You know, they are case. You know what I mean? So them things will start coming to play now, you know what I mean? And we started as a petroleum inspectors. What that is, we do custody transfers for petroleum corporations. So we are the middlemen between the buyers and the sellers. So we basically take custody of this cargo from it at the port until the cargo is dispersed or dispensed or discharged into the receiving unit. So we work 50-50 for the buyer and the seller. And if a trader involved somewhere in the middle, it's 33 and a third, so everybody pay us. So it's a high integrity job where you have influencers in these type of jobs who try to influence you to make the numbers say that as give him more. And the next guy is saying they need the numbers to say that I receive less. So it's you now have to be the guy in the middle where so you take full custody, you own the cargo, you own this cargo from it reach the dock. So every day is like we're getting preach in our ears that is millions of US dollar we do and we don't play with that in our mind. So and a lot of the mistakes are punished. You know what I mean? Jail time or some of the punishment we get for
Wow.
certain mistake we tend to make in them industry there. You know what I mean? So we find that, you know what I mean, we worked I started in '09 working in the petroleum field, and in 2012 I got promoted to operation supervisor. You know what I mean? So working in that field, learn very fast. As all we know, we never have a choice but to learn fast when we're their case and not calvin. So all of them things there is just the part of the trajectory and it's just the building blocks coming up. So every step out of the way, where some we might not in the same field now, but the same thing we will learn and help our progression where we are. Because one of the main thing is discipline, timing. You know what I mean? Being on time all the time. You know what I mean? Always 15 minutes early than 1 minute late. You know what I mean? And what so you know what I mean? We develop different strategies to deal with it, just to make sure we're present. You know what I mean? We do a lot of stuff to really even help how they do inspection in Fort Lauderdale now based on, you know what I mean, we go to the terminals and identify a lot of like hiccups that the system have and some of them agree and we make changes, you know what I mean, and we did our job over there, you know what I mean? So in 2012 I got promoted because the recommendations keep coming from the field to the office, and the terminal representatives always making good comments, always, you know what I mean, always telling our boss that Knute, you can't lose him, you know. If anytime you lose him, you lose your company, you lose your business, because the discipline what we have when it comes to working is, you know what I mean, is way above average. You know what I mean? We above average in terms of my when I'm in the field, my boss turn off our phone at night time because she knows say she not any there's no call where that I get that I can deal with, because we learn from grown up, you know what I mean? We learn the different and now we're at operations. So the same thing that I was doing and now I start managing now. You know what I mean? And I used to kind of do it different, even though I used to get fat. No, I gone to 40-hour work week now, no. But when the guys out there at night, once we sit know that they can be difficult, they may always stay near. You know what I mean? Always stay near. So we did that until 2016, Ian.
Yeah, man, there. We're losing Newt a second there. So guys, until Newt come back
20,
in. Uh, I know he's saying something. So sometime we know over there in Jamaica, the internet sometime affect
16,
the
come out it.
broadcast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
so you were out for a second there, Newt, but I'm not sure if the audience was hearing you. But 2016, that's where we're.
Yeah, 2016 now, where we got a call in the lab, and the call was from Petrojam in Kingston. Um, they wanted to rent a particulate code machine, and they wanted someone to operate it. Particulate code machine is the machine that they use to test the jet fuel. So
Okay.
this is one of the part of the process that you don't mess with. So Petrojam was having some issues with their machine, and they were just searching around, and they called our office for some help, some assistance, and it was one of our busy weekends. And I went to the lab manager and asked if them can spare someone to go to Jamaica for the weekend. We have an emergency down in Jamaica because they're running low on jet fuel at the airport, and the jet fuel that Petrojam has in their storage, they want to test it before they could transfer it to the airport. So it was very important and urgent. So I asked the lab manager if she could afford anyone of the staff, which our batchmate again, Craig White,
Yep.
he,
JC.
yeah, when he came over to America, we did and you know what I mean, him say him want a job and we carry him in and get him a job just the same. So we've been doing this sort of thing. Even Craig Murray came and worked with us shortly. You know what I
There's
mean?
somebody
For
who
a
was
short
ahead of
while.
our batch too that I think you had there to Newt.
Everton time.
Yeah, time.
Everton time. Yeah, man, Everton time. So, you know what I mean? We've been doing this and even at football field, I just watch the guys. I just watch them and just look for aptitude, because sometimes you have the education and abroad, but when you narrow it down, because the discipline where the job command, education alone can't help you. So sometimes I go ball field, I watch the guys, them aptitude, how them attend training, how them carry themselves on the field, and even them after football, question them and talk to them about something. So it's easy for me to just call a guy and say, I have a job for you. And it has been that way since I went into management over there. Even now that I'm in Jamaica, they still call me to recommend persons to come and work. You know what I mean? And so 2016 now, this happened at Petrojam. So we tell the lab manager we need somebody for go Jamaica, and she said, boy, can't help you, no knew it was swamp. I'm gonna say, how hard is it to use the machine? And she said, it's not hard, but you have to be certified. So I'm gonna say, what do we take to certify someone for that? And she said, well, just do the tutorials and 25-minute tutorial, and by the 30th minute you're certified. So I'm saying, give me the tutorial, because this is a workation for me. I'm going to Jamaica for the weekend.
Let me go home.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so that she trained me. I got the tutorials. It was very simple to operate the machine. You know what I mean? And got certified, jump on a flight, Kingston, Jamaica with my machine looking all professional and dapper. Coming through the airport with my silver with my stainless steel briefcase. You know what I
Heavy.
mean? Yeah, man, and a knapsack on my back look like a astronaut or a engineer, somebody will work out a space there. You know what I mean? And went over to Petrojam now, and everybody at the lab waiting for this person coming from America. So everybody expecting a white
All
guy.
right, man.
So when I knock the door, when I knock the door and step in at the lab, everybody just have them eye wide open. And the first thing we said to them, what go on? That's everybody bust out a
Back
laugh.
up.
Not just that them didn't believe it was a Jamaican, them never even think it was a black person. So now it's a black person and it's a Jamaican, and we eat it off right there.
Vibes right.
You know, the vibes right, and you know what I mean. Spoke to the guy responsible for shipping, because shipping is my interest really. So the guy responsible for shipping came over to the lab and we start talking. And him tell me that one of the major players in Jamaica stepping out. So he's looking for a company to come in and work locally here in Jamaica. I said, what? You know my antennas go out.
You mean?
Yeah, man. And before me even reach back, I call my superiors and tell them, so listen, we have something for no fix, because we're going to Jamaica. Inspectorate going to Jamaica. We're going to open office in Jamaica. And then I said, what are you talking about? And I said, and them said, too much red tapes, Knute. You know what I mean? That same month, we had a meeting with one of the VPs of our company. And sit down in the Hard Rock Hotel around the dinner and start talking. So my boss was reluctant. So I asked the question. I said, there are opportunities in Jamaica. Are we going to look into it? And the VP looked at me and the man said one of the worst thing to me ever since me at work. You know what I mean? The man said, Jamaica has came up a lot, but Jamaica is too corrupt for we to send a company over there. And my boss, Cuban, Spanish, start kick me, you know. Cause you know me not that now you
Yeah.
know that now gonna go over well. It's not gonna go over
Well,
well with
well,
me.
we all know the news, So
Yeah,
yeah.
man. So I say, sir, let me tell you something. You know have the moral authority. They said no way at all corrupt. No way. You're living at the belly of the beast. But Minister Farrakhan did tell one reporter that about America one at a time. And the man looked for me and I said the man get red. And him say, I apologize. But me could talk about this at different time. And we did go back at the office of my boss. I tell him, say, boy, I knew you're brave. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're brave. You stand up to joke, you're brave. You know what I mean? So um 1 month passed and I got a call from Petrojam. They're saying that they want to give me an odd job, meaning I don't have to be registered in Jamaica. They have an international vessel coming in, so they want a international inspection company to man that vessel for that job. And we take the nomination and I went back again. So it was another vacation in Jamaica. And I came and I did the job over the weekend, and like how I do the Monday morning bright and early when everybody came in, the reports was on everybody's email that needed to see it. And the guy from shipping, Mr. Noble, called me and said, if you're a company now come want you come open a company in Jamaica. And
Opportunity.
that's yeah man, I want to fire that light, you know what I mean? And we start talking to people because I know a couple of the engineers from school days that work over from high school days and even before. We at work over Petrojam and start reasoning with them and them I said, well, Petrojam, the work is not hard to do over there, but to get in at a certain level will always be difficult because them not get small contractors more than a certain amount of money for any financial year. So all right, we'll go and settle and watch and wait and see because I'm coming back to Jamaica and about August 2016, the regional manager called me now and said, listen, we're going to Jamaica. Tell me all that we have to do. Take 2 weeks over there to figure it out and come back. I came back in 1 week. I went back to Florida in 1 week time and said, Jamaica ready, man. The ground fertile and it's ready for a move. And we start, as I know me start make to the legal secretary for the entire company. This I go play a role down the road when I go tell you about. Whether I had to deal with the legal secretary, one of the cause my company is when you Google it, you Google Bureau Veritas. We are the inspection arm of Bureau Veritas. Bureau Veritas is one of the biggest companies in the world. You know what I mean? We have there is an office. They do the um bureau. There are bureau standards for almost any commodity you can think of. You know what I mean? We have office in every country, every shipping port, every country with a shipping port in the world. We have an office there. You know what I mean? So I work for a massive company. You know what I mean? So we talked to them and we started. I met with the legal secretary. She's French, but she speak English fluently. And I sat with her for a while and she tell me the parameters and what they can do and what they can't do. So if certain things can happen, we can't operate because they're not going behind the integrity of our company. So you know what I mean? So I started a relationship with her and even more so our secretary. We had a very good relationship with the secretary, communication on the phone a lot, talking a lot on the phone about. So we get Jamaica on the road, you know what I mean? And I came here, we started January 2017. And I was there for about 6 months. And then politics struck again. Dr. Winston
Politics
Green
find you
died.
anywhere you go.
Dr. Winston Green died. Same year that I came back to Jamaica, started the company. I got promoted again. I was the manager, country manager now for the Jamaica location. You know what I mean? So becoming a manager now, got a little more time to move around. So during 2017, Dr. Winston Green, the member of parliament then for Southeast St. Mary, died, passed away. So we had this big by-election. I don't think there has been any by-election in Jamaica that passed or supersede that one there that we had in Southeast. Anybody that was close enough know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? The entire Jamaican zoomed in on Southeast St. Mary and it was electrifying. It's one of the greatest moments in politics. Even though we lost the by-election, it was one of the greatest experiences as it relates to politics. Fast forward to that now, they did a poll and they were trying to poll the candidate, which was Dr. Shane Alexis at the time. And they did a poll and trying to figure out if Shane fits. And when the poll came out, Shane fit. The people love him, but everybody at that about him, and not to be everybody at that about New Barkley. Because at that time when we start campaigning, you know what I mean, we gone our group of youths and we start move the road and you know what I mean, we start campaign, you know what I mean, like nothing else. That's lose some resources in that can, some serious resources in that campaign there, you know what I mean, and that personal resources. You know what I mean? So we did that And ever since then, I've been the person that was going to challenge the next local government election. Since that campaign, it was that. Because we had our outgoing councillor who was the under because he lost in 2016, Kevin Golden. And you know what I mean, he was outgoing. So I took up the mantle and said, it's my turn ready to put it on my back. You know what I mean? So consult everyone who was supposed to be consulted, and everyone agreed that if that's your passion, go for it. You know what I mean? So I went 2-2 footing, you know what I mean? And ever since then I've been the aspirant and then now the councillor caretaker, the candidate who will challenge the incumbent Mr. Hugh Brand whenever this election is called. You know what I mean? So now I'm working in Jamaica. Now I'm into politics. Now I have my job to do. I have to balance my community in terms of I have to now introduce the type of politics that I think can bring certain things together. You know what I mean? So my first job was to
All right, Knute. So,
yeah,
I give you a minute break. Get a sip of water there, right?
yeah
So,
man.
so what? All right. So, with all the knowledge gained, the experiences, from traveling from Jamaica Coffee Boat back in the U.S. Petroleum, back into Jamaica, with all of that knowledge gained, and then politics find you again, and
Yeah.
your community, you decide to bring it on your shoulder. So, I would just want you to kindly share with the audience, an initiative or a project that you have, contributed in a significant way. Are you lead it, that have impact your community of Natabia in a positive way?
Yes, man. Well, multiple projects that we do that impacted our community. One of the first one that came about was a call center. You know what I mean? I took the first call center out of the metropolitan. You know what I mean? We have a friend that we aspire from all age
Like a
school.
TV.
Yeah, but even before Timpe,
Wow.
because we come from all age school and he migrated after high school and then when I migrated, we linked up. You know what I mean? He was the accountant manager for Comcast. I think you met him. I think you met him at the field one day. I don't remember. Because he came down because he was the accounting manager from Michigan, come all the way down to Florida. So that would be about 13 states. He was the accounting manager for. So um I think he got a severance package after a while and he started doing his own thing, the same accounting, and one of his clients had a call center over in Tennessee and tell him that he need to offload it into a third world situation where he can manage production costs better. So he called me up and asking me if I know anybody in Jamaica that manage call center and have some business that you'd want to dump on them. You know what I mean? I pass you about 5 minutes. And I turn and I say, what you just said to me? I say, agriculture, I'm doing a brother. Call center and a rocket science. I don't know nothing about it now, but I bet if you call me back tomorrow morning, I tell you how we ever do it. You know what I mean? And
Ready for
you know what I
pivot?
mean? Yeah, man. And he asked me where in Jamaica because him now thinking Kingston or Montego Bay. I say Kingston or Montego Bay. We do it or not a Bay. You know what I mean? And him say, wait I go. I say, no worry, if I even want to see it. And you know what I mean? The
That's a case
following week.
graduate.
Yeah, man. So the same weekend, I came to another Bay because then I was in Kingston mostly because I just come in and I start working and spending a lot of time over there and come over weekends to do, you know what I mean? So I came over and the first thing I saw a building with about 10 shops and only one shop occupied on the building. So they was going to some reconstruction over there and everybody over there was not necessarily evicted, but was temporary put out of the space for rehabilitation of the building. I know the owner of the building, so it was about 10 o'clock the night. And I drive, go by me at 10 o'clock the night and blow me on and call him out time space. And him come outside and I said, who this? And me I tell him and I said, Knute, I must something good this make you come on my yard 10 o'clock, come and wake me up. I said, well, so I have a firelight in me and I can't go on my bed, it I go burn me up inside, you know?
All right.
Yeah, man. I'm tell him exactly the vision. And him say, what you say? You gonna rent the entire building? I say, yeah, man, we need the entire building. And we are going to reshape the entire building to based on the plan what we have. You know what I mean? And next morning, I call Roger, tell Roger fly in. We sit down with the guy do the contract and see today we are contribute to the BPO, we are contribute to the workforce in our community, right? That's a from jump, you know what I mean? So I think that is very significant. And also the company, as I tell you, we started 2017 as inspectorate, and in 2019, inspectorate decided to jump ship and that they won't be staying in the change the business model, and the Caribbean, they don't want to be a destination except for Puerto Rico and St. Lucia. They'll keep those offices home, but they're going to close Trinidad, Bahamas. And believe me, we were making significant gains at that time, you know what I mean? And I wasn't understanding it and I wasn't giving any notice. One morning I just get up, November 18 to be exact, 2019, I got an email that effective immediately. We close the shop, complete all the job that I do, but don't receive another nomination. On January 2, the 2nd of January 2020, they will let us know the fate of the workers. So you know exactly that. Me when you know any organization, you know, say we are part ways. You know what I mean? So this is how I tell you now how the legal secretary came, because I didn't call my manager, I didn't call the regional manager, I didn't call the vice president, I called the director. I called the director because, as I told you, the legal secretary, she's also a director. And I have her information personally, and I have her secretary information. So I called the secretary first and said, listen, I need you to do something for me, Terry. And she said, what? I can't bail you out of jail in you. Because I said, well, if I needed bail, I definitely wouldn't be calling you. And she said, what is it? I said, you hear that? Everything being dissolved in Jamaica. And she said, yeah, I heard it tragic and I didn't get around to calling you. Well, we said, well, I calling you and I calling in a big favor. I wanted to talk to Anna and ask her if BV inspectorate don't have the balls to call people and give them a forewarning. And why couldn't it be a situation that the company was offered to me to purchase if you're going close, and let we do this in a way where, because if you're not planning to stay in Jamaica, why wouldn't you? They expected, because they had a job for me back stateside, so they were thinking that I would come back to stateside and not care about the people that I took out of their positions to put into our company. And I told them that I would not come back because I have a lot of things on my hands out here in terms of we take people out of jobs. So whatever we're going to rebuild out here, so now we're going to rebuild together. I can't just run back because I have the opportunity to run back to the States. You know what I mean? So I said, talk to her, and she did. And within half an hour, I got an email apologizing, saying that she didn't even think about it that way and blah, blah, blah. Then about 5 minutes after, I saw another email copied to everybody in the Eastern region. Whatever it is that it takes, make sure that Knute gets everything in Jamaica. So we're not going to block any jobs. We're not going to, what we're going to work out, whatever we need to work out to make this possible. And, you know what I mean? Then my phone rang and I called and said, Knute again, man, Knute again. I'm going to say, all right, what we have now? And she said, well, we affording you the company, you know what I mean, pending you creating your own and we transfer what needs to be transferred and do what needs to be done. And I said, don't worry about that, we just need to know the terms. Cause if it going to take me for climb Blue Mountain or Mount Everest, we are gonna get it done. You know what I mean? So what happened then is she tell me that I can't give it for free, but I'm going to charge you something that you can afford. You know what I mean? And she wrote, send the email. We're transferring all of our assets in Jamaica, meaning all the equipment, nearly 200,000 US dollar worth of equipment, computers, decks, AC units, everything that was in the office. TV, fridge, stove, everything that was in the office. And they gave me for $1 US.
Boy,
$1 US.
this is something is miracle happen within the space of a few hours.
I say, Ian, I think we've created history in terms of how fast. I don't know if you understand how Kingston run. I know is that you have to pull teeth to get through certain organization to get things done on time. We fully, fully registered, fully operational within 36 hours.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Nothing, nobody knew that. If you don't know, you don't know that it changed from inspectorate to now the company that myself and brother and two other friends own. You know what I mean? It's PIC, Professional Inspection Corporation Limited. You know what I mean? We do the same work. We do petroleum inspections, custody transfers for anybody who wants our services. You know what I mean? Since then, everything turned around. So at that now I'm going to add that now to as a company now. We started a company. I start a company now, brand new. Where are going to get workers from? I must not have it. So I came here and actually I in not well my type of interview. I'll just tell you, oh my God, it wasn't anything. It was just me seeing people trajectory, seeing how discipline them aptitude mostly. And we got 4, 5 people from our community know that they had jobs, but never any job to people where you talk about you can go buy a car, you can start buy a girl nice things, and you know what I mean. And you guarantee a paycheck every 2 weeks. You know what I mean. So very me, it wasn't. It's not a lot in terms of numbers, but it's a lot for me in terms of what I achieve. And you know what I mean. I can take a humble little guy and to turn them in a basically turn them in a millionaire. You know what I mean? Because they're getting pretty much some of the best players out there in the market right now. You know what I mean? And it's growing. You know what I mean? Our company is growing. You know what I mean? My younger brother Raquel plays a big part. A lot of us who went to case together would know him. You know what I mean? He's the operator. I'm the CEO and he's the COO. You know what I mean? So we work together as a team, you know what I mean, with also Tyrone Dice and Jason Harvey as directors. You know what I mean? We own and run Professional Inspections Corporation Limited, and you know what I mean, we're open to working for now in the wider Caribbean. You know what I mean? So we can work through the CARICOM initiatives. We can work in the Caribbean, and I'm a US citizen also, so I probably will soon think about dropping an office over in Fort Lauderdale and see how we can work with, you know what I mean, expand on what we're doing out here. So that saying that to say, you know what I mean, even through the job that I do, you know what I mean, I will sacrifice trying with people from my community to move them from one level to another. You know what I mean? And these 4 or 5 persons helping 5, 6 more each of them. You know what I mean? So it's just the domino effect of how it works in small communities. And you know what I mean? Because most time people work for them family and friend when it comes to them community. So a lot of people benefit from one individual working. So you know what I mean? We have contributed, you know what I mean? We have given, have sought after scholarships for student athletes also. Um, you know O'Shane Chamberlain that went to States, you know what I mean? We brought him over to Florida to attend university. And Kanye Plummer, Jamaica, captain,
Wow.
female captain. Yeah, we were the first one to really give her a chance to come over in the US to ply her trade, you know what I mean? As and I was talking about at a tender age, you know what I mean? 15, 16, just leaving high school. We brought her over, myself and Valney Brown, with him at the head cook and buckle wash. Once I call him, you know what I mean? Once I call him and tell him, say, I have a player. It's just the academic side of it now that would feel that player because they know when I assess somebody and send him know them ready. So it would just be the academic side of it now that would feel them. You know what I mean? So
You stick up in there, Newt. And you see, that is the thing, influence that you have on people, because you probably don't even know this. Valney Brown, through you, I meet Valney Brown round by Dre. When we went to that,
yeah,
backyard,
yeah,
cooking,
man.
cookout, I met Valney Brown. And would you believe that just recently, even though this young man went to St. Elizabeth Technical High School, played for Jamaica under 19. If it wasn't for Barkley Brown, I wouldn't be able to get him to play for my club right here now, my
Uh,
team in Florida, because I'm the
okay.
president of the Palm Beach Hurricane team. So basically, we look forward to getting players from Jamaica if they come up and ensure that they get some money while they play while they're here. And
Yeah.
this guy, such talent, I would have lose out to another team down there in Fort Lauderdale. But as soon as him land, Valley say, "Yo, Ian, I have a young man, and I really believe that you are the best person in terms of would give him the time of the day to sit and talk to this young man and see how well you can help him." And he gave me a call up, and really and truly this youth is doing very good. So just because of your connection, you see, there another young man will be able to help.
When a whole heap of that we go through, man. We never stop. We never stop in terms of, you know what I mean? And it's natural because I don't do it for nothing. You know what I mean? I don't do it for no, not even prayers. We talk about it when we have to, but a lot of people even know, a lot of people in another bay, they must say, can you come and they must say, wherever I'm standing, she come over, hug me, whatever. And me and her know what happened, you know what I mean? Because when she a little girl, she come in our hands over Fort Lauderdale there. And we took care of her. She used to come play football with the big man them Tuesday night, Thursday night over the park at 21st there and 441. You know what I mean? She used to come over there, come play with we and we watch her growing at the game and we see she come turn captain, you know what I mean? And played in the World Cup, the first World Cup that Jamaica women team ever attended or ever take part in. You know what I mean? So we contribute and we're still doing it right now. I came back to another and now I'm the chairman again for Axum Football Club. We can't leave it alone because we have some talent right now. Right now, Marlon, Martin, Jerry Dwight, Jeremiah can attest to this. That is my player that I brought to Arnett Gardens right now. I his name on any 11 or any 10 or Arnett Garden in the midfield. I'm calling Blitz. Marlon Martin are the next big thing out of Jamaica who I watch the box to box midfield game. Him have it locked down, you know what I mean? Him have like a brushing up for make him into where we want him to be. You know what I mean? But him working on it, you know what I mean? And him training hard and him I think him going captain on it guard next season coming. You know what I mean?
All
So
right,
we've
Newt.
been
So
contributing.
yeah, man, a lot of contribution there. All right. So I actually looking back 5 to 10 years ago, did you ever envision yourself having such an impact or influence in your community as you sit here this afternoon?
Yeah man. Because even when we live in Florida, my team wear the pretty set of football boots them in the A League, in the Super League, cause we have our little link them on the football field and one man know this man and that man know that man. Me I send 20 odd pair of boots a season come for ask them every season even while me there overseas. You know what I mean? We still check for people on a level where people send and ask you for certain help and we still deliver on that because we're never far from a community yet, because when we live in Florida, minimum 5 times a year, I come Jamaica and I've never been on a vacation anywhere else except Jamaica. And I had the opportunity to go almost anywhere that I wanted to go. You know what I mean? And I've never taken a vacation and it's not Jamaica. I come in and I can't come to Jamaica and stay on the North Coast or stay in Kingston or stay anywhere else except on Ottawa Bay. You know what I mean? So I think we join at the hip from birth. And you know what I mean? So since there's no separation, I think representing my community, you know what I mean, is I think that is priority. Them see a passion become a priority after a while. You know what I mean? And that is so true. You know what I mean? And I want to stop to really, man, let the listener know that I'm not to be I'm challenging for the not to be a division which encompass multiple communities. You know what I mean? Starting from the border of Portland and St. Mary, coming as far back as the cemetery in Anatomy and going inwards. So we basically overseeing a lot of 10,000 people if we love maths. You know what I mean? So I have 10,000 people, future 10,000 people, life, 10,000 people heartbeat in my hand where we have to deliver. And as rough as it is, we still have to try to do it in a timely manner, you know what I mean? So that is me speaking forward, you know what I mean? Because we
Yeah,
can,
that was exactly the question I was gonna ask. Since I said looking back 5 to 10 years, I would say looking forward. That means we're looking into the future. What can the people that you will be represented expect from New Barkley?
farming, fishery, you know what I mean? More BPO, you know what I mean? Agro processing on a level. When we say farming, we're not talking about just planting, you know what I mean? We're talking about going along with helping people to realize the true potential, the true output of them hard labor. You know what I mean? And education, you know what I mean? Key, because, education going lean in the impoverished community out of whatever situation them have. You know what I mean? And one of the only choice we have where really work. You know what I mean? Sometimes we have kids go through the system, pass them exams, have them certificates, and not have any job. You know what I mean? We want to try to see how we can facilitate them instead of them waiting. We put them in some program, some entrepreneur program, where really teach them how to make something of themselves while not thinking about, you know what I mean, checking the clock at end of the morning, check in on the clock in the morning and check out in the afternoon. You know what I mean? Create your own clock and use your own discipline for guide the ability where you have and see what can manifest from that. You know? Another bit I want to say and its surrounding that there are a lot of things that you can say, and there's a lot of things that you can try to do. But what natural around here is farming. And you know what I mean? And I won't apologize for it. You know what I mean? Because we're a farmer. You know what I mean? Even though but we're a farmer by nature, you know what I mean? And we did it in, you know what I mean? We get papers for it to prove that we're a farmer, you know what I mean? And there is no joke in what can be accomplished through farming. So that in terms of education, that are one of the show and tell where we have to try to show the people them, and you know what I mean, we're getting groups together in terms of not only socially but economically also. So anytime we try to break certain barriers, it's not just one level, it's a multiple tier thing that we plan for in our community, you know what I mean? And we kind of start it already, start to help people to realize a lot of them dreams. You know what I mean? Maybe some small ones, but nevertheless, we do what we can do. You know what I mean?
All right, Newt. So we know we gone a long while. Longer me and you could have sit down and talk this time, and it look like a 5 minutes we just gone in. But I
Yeah,
know that
man.
with this venture, being a politician, you're gonna be a lot of responsibility, a lot of expectation that will be basically sitting on both of your shoulders and on your head. You will know it go when you get into politics. And I have some questions, specific kind of questions, which I just wanna throw at you. So the first one I really look at, and people from overseas all over, as you even said it, the man in the interview when he talk about Jamaica, you know, the crime situation there in Jamaica, we all see, where that is going, given the nature of the crime, especially for me, being a father, the crime against children, even that range from kidnapping up to murder. Is there
Yeah.
any initiative or any plan, anything that you can think of that you can put in place that will help in this you know area where it seems like a red flag all over?
Well, Ian, one of the toughest questions that I ever asked, and multiple times people ask them question, and you see where we are right now, if we are gonna be honest, the crime reach a level where it's only some extra, as them would have said, extreme cases or extreme measures. You know what I mean? And I think a social discipline are the only way out. You know what I mean? So when they ask what can I do, my contribution is always going to be education. You know what I mean? Education on all different levels, you know what I mean? Because I've spent a lot of time in Anatolia with the youths. When I say a lot of times, I mean for the past 3 years I've been living in my community with the youths, them trying to understand and trying to be a middleman in terms of to help people to understand. And not to be have serious history, and a lot of us are not historians, but we know say when the road bend, it hard for the tree grow straight. You know what I mean? And not to be went through its share, because it's not anything that unique to us, but we went through our share of tyranny during the imperialistic and colonial era. You know what I mean? And there has not been any measures. I never see anybody come in to try to retrain nobody after that. You know what I mean? So we have a rebellious mentality in my community where we come from. And a lot of people who pass can tell you, you know what I mean? It's a rough town. You know what I mean? Very militant town. And a lot of the atrocities were and the acts are inhumane behavior, inhumanity where we go through in our town. We can't talk for our place, you know what I mean? We can't talk for nowhere else. But we can tell you, say, it shows up even in the young children. So we have to wonder how the DNA attachment got to that, because this generation's gone. And we're still seeing reminiscence of it in the youth, them, in the adults, and it is a cycle. And it continues and it continues and it continues. So we try to address certain issues differently when we are dealing with you, because you get a youth where all him come out and see is a man a spin a ratchet back in the days on him finger and him pocket full of money, to know a man have a thing tucked with somewhere and a bag of money in him pocket, and him go school and him here say, yo, from I come from another bay, I can't come to nothing good, you know. So them a create a giant without even knowing, and them a create a monster without even knowing. So what we try to do now is try to relieve that. We try to bridge a gap between the generations all the time, no matter what it is, for the smaller youth to the bigger youth to the adults. You know what I mean? We try to bridge a gap. So we live in with the youth them in terms of We know them problems. You know what I mean? No. We not, them not see me as a politician. They more see me as a friend, as a confidant, as somebody with them can come to and say, yo, this is my situation right now, you know, how you can help us to move it. If me can't help, me tell you, say me can't help, but me might know somebody over there so we can help. Because we know a couple of people, because as a year, me I tell you about my school, I will leave a school, me go. You know what I mean? So, me meet a heap of people, and I don't know if nobody have a more best friend than me in my life. Me have a heap of best friend. You know what I mean? Because everywhere I go, me get best friend. You know what I mean? Because we're not hard for life because our nature. You know what I mean? Who don't know where some of the time I gotta say we're rough, our face kind of been up sometimes because of what we have got through or because of what my friend might have got through or somebody were close to me might have got through. So we straighten up the screw face them sometime. It's hard. You know which part we come from. You know what I mean? So we try to bridge the gap there. And I've seen where doing these small initiatives help a long way because right now we are get the parents coming to us now saying, you know, so since the youth them their own police them not come on my yard. You know what I mean? Since the youth them their own, we see them try to move more positive in terms of them want to go do something now for make some money. Everybody I try them little skill who can cook. All of them little fries. Who have them fry, try a little restaurant business based on them scale and them level with them there. Because me also always I show them say live with what you have until you get where you want to make certain move. You know what I mean? So whatever it is that you have and whatever it is that you can do, just do it. As long as you do something and it meaningful, just do it. You know what I mean? So one of the messages that I may always send out to the youth, them, I may always get positive responses even from the hard one, them where people say rough certain way. Because another bay set up with a lot of lanes and there's no hour of the night that I can go in any lane in another bay without even thinking about. But I don't fear for certain things in my community because of how level I am with everyone. You know what I mean? There's no era where I say me nah go because I be a labor right there. So no. I'm gonna see the youth and address them as no labor right or PNP either. I mean address them as youth right across the board. And if I 10 of them I don't care where you did vote for, where you vote for. I just deal with you because I think we are the more humanitarian work than politician work. You know what I mean? And I think doing politics this way, I think is marketing without even it look like you're marketing. Because if you put this type of energy out there in the universe, it only have a reciprocate. You know what I mean? So we not even look on it like we are do politics. That sometimes I'll even my seniors in other politics I'll say, boy, I knew it, you know, I do not mean to say, listen to me. Wait, when me do me not do it like how you used to do it. You know what I mean? But we find a way where we can bridge a gap because our party is the founding party in other country in terms of politics. But at the same time, we have outgrew the generation will come after, you know what I mean? Because the policies are good and what we contribute to our independence is great. But we're not transitioning with the time in terms of how we manifest that with our new leader, Comrade Golden. I think he's doing a good job of bridging that gap. And I mean, some people don't see it, but they will see it because his intentions are only good. You know what I mean? And we hear all kind of thing, all kind of ism, all kind of naysaying. And you know what I mean? But we know that whenever the next general election, Mark Golden gonna be the Prime Minister of Jamaica, you know what I mean? And a lot of people may not see it now, but it's coming. And we know him, I know him for a while now, you know what I mean? We have worked closely on several campaigns. So I know him for a while now, so I get to know the man behind, or the mantra behind the man, or the man behind the mantra. You know what I mean? So it's very difficult for me to see what is going on now politically in Jamaica and have any second opinion about a change in government, whether it's local or a general election situation. You know what I mean?
You have touched some really critical and crucial areas there in the community, specifically where you're from. As you say, every community different. Every community gonna take a different level, a management, a different level of training, restructuring. It all depends, and everyone is gonna have a different approach. And really and truly, I like the way you're approaching it, especially the fact that you're a youth of the soil. That's where you're born and grow, and not to be, you say, a carried on your back. And really and truly, we're looking forward, for the people of the community to support you based on your views and what you have said this afternoon. But on the wider community, though, there's some challenges, and I just gonna pick up one more that as you just mentioned a while ago about education. That is one way that you're gonna go about, in terms of curbing the violence and the crime in Jamaica. But we have seen lately, um, incident where the violence in our school, so within the school system, that youth against youth, the violence here among each other is to another level. And just the other day, within my community, I'm from South St. Elizabeth, we all would have learned about the incident that took place at Junction, BB Coke High School, that is right in the
Yeah.
heart of Junction, where one youth just step on a youth shoes, and we see the end result, knock the youth out unconscious, kick him in the head, in the neck, step up on him, and I have to give it up to the youngsters who have decided to pick up them friend, because really and truly there was teachers on the property, on the ground, adults on the ground, people who drive car, who could have helped in terms of bringing the youth out to at least to see a doctor, a physician. But this again touched my soul when I see youths take up them burden and say, yo, we are bring him. If I even care, we have to carry him. We are on him go in, to see a physician, which that probably have saved his life. But we
Mm.
can't run from the fact that these things are happening in the school. And as I said, as a father right now of three, that is a big
Yeah.
concern for me, sending my youth to school and knowing that safety now is a second thing there, because if even, as I said, the level in terms of the adult or the teachers, it seemed like there was much concern for this young man there, so in that
All
instant,
right.
Newt, I know it's taking it to a different level outside of your community and so forth. What can we
Yeah.
do in our school among the youths them?
Here we go on now. Protocol. I go address it by adding more security. But we can tell upon your interview, honestly speaking, the government don't care about the teacher and the teacher don't care about the picnic.
Well, I forced me hear that one, yeah.
And
So I have to break it down.
you know what I mean? All right. The teachers are crying for compensation for how many years now, from ever since. And I'm not calling anybody name. I'm talking about government, because this is not something we just start from. I know my mother she a ball for more pay. So it crossed many bone, it crossed many different politicians' feet, our on our desk, and many different governments, meaning the same twice or three term, four term, the same two term. Now it passed through. So people, they have things that have been done to really alter the situation of how they live, and it might have helped for a certain time, but the significance of the teacher in the classroom should be shown in their bank accounts.
Great.
You know what I mean? And I am not going to say, because I'm not telling you that, because I know why I value. So I'm not going to say that when I win, I am going to not take the incentive that is offered to the position that I hold. But what I can tell you is there's no way I would take that incentive for myself and not doing the honorable thing of sharing it with the public sector workers, which is the backbone, the teachers, the nurses, the police, the firemen, where them are the backbone of our country in terms of service. You know what I mean? And we have seen the trickle down effect of, because the cream of the crop I got you wait and you would take. You have individuals, one and two, we say, boy, from them little bit, a Michael, them want to go, or from them little bit, them want to go St. Joseph's, or them want to go Case, or whatever. But the majority, in terms of the cream of the crop, go UA and UTech, right? Then you find the technical people, them go, whether you would just the CMR, but then you have the, you know what I mean, the doctors and the lawyers and all of these people have their mind focused. And then the C students are, I won't, because it's not a one size fit all. So it's not every C student. You have A students who are going, but we know the entry level for getting a teaching college, for getting a teacher's college is not necessarily the same as that to get into another program in another, you know what I mean? So we find that the C students are the ones who predominantly enter into teaching. And they're going with a good heart, you know, and they're going with the mindset to do their best. But how can you sit there now and tell me, say, the breakdown will come from one, the home, and then the teacher, them not really care. It's too much again. Like one time when we have teacher, and our teacher, whether they are school or not, we have to keep straight. Cause from what's the teacher, no care where the teacher not only in a school, you know what I mean? And there's only one and few teachers now that would even turn their eye to look at a child outside of school. So that gap has grown very large. So the lawlessness with the students in and out of school, because them used to do it outside first before them carry it inside, you know. You know what I mean? So now it's the inside of the school because the youth them start not care now about nobody. And them a take Molly and them a take what name? Ecstasy.
Right.
And that amplify them 10 times. So if me think about if I stab this boy and me take a Molly, I want to stab him 10 times. That's how it works. You know what I mean? So the influence, the outside influence that are here now, we couldn't even fathom thinking about doing those type of things when we were growing up. And we never need nobody around us to look because we did a look. And we know say when you do that, it wrong on your front. You do that, you lean and gone over one side over there so at some point you're not gonna return. You know what I mean? So we understand, say dunce around things now. You know what I mean? And when me I go to school, if a man ever call you dunce, a war. You know what I mean? A man no care. You could have done like nail. If a man if a man call you dunce when you go to school, a problem.
You take it
Cause
personal.
nobody don't want to be identified as that.
Yeah, you
And
take that personal.
while these kids don't have a problem being identified as being smart, they are a part, them they prioritize the trends where take place now and that become priority. So the trend is more important than their reality. You know what I mean? So the trend automatically become them reality. So I just done this, everybody are done so. And how you done so. You have to take the pill them for done so, you know. Alright. Take some form of things we have a carry. So I them thing the way I see I living at a school them. See now a sentence the other day, the guy them sell the some I don't know what
Yeah.
is like I say is lace gummies. I don't know what lace with. You know what I mean? But it's some lace gummies until the lab come with whatever it is. All I can say is some lace gummies and 60 had to get hospitalized in a sentence. You know what I mean? And when we see them thing there, it's just like it's surreal. You know what I mean? It come like I went Jamaica, it's a shock feeling where, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, that impossible, that can't happen. You know what I mean? Back in the days when I little bit and I got to school, them used to tell me not even for buy a bubble gum and nobody now buy a bubble gum card. Them that said them I put jugs in a bubble gum and I take a little pitney back in the stay black heart man and them shit when we have a school. You know what I mean? So we did so careful and fearful are the elements where they around us. Them youth are not fear nothing. And then them going at it and them youth are see straight through you, you know. So if you fear them youth, if them youth are see say you not care nobody feels say if you not care about them youth and not feel say them not know you not care, you know. You can't trick no face from them, you know, because them know exactly them more advanced than even you sometimes as an adult. So them know when they not care and them know when people not care, them know when them let go for do anything them feel for do because everybody once them see say there are consequences. I'm not about consequences in rhetoric, me talk about consequences physically and literally. Once them see say there are consequences, they're going to check. They're going to check. That are the reason why a man don't run on pan a policeman with him gun pan him side. It's only a madman that you say do that. Because them know it's the consequences for do that. So people still respond to consequences, you know. So it's just as that the consequences are not being upheld. You know what I mean? So it's a feeling of the entire system where cause the youth them to behave the way they. And as we know, the home, a lot of the failure it starting at the home. But we did have the same situation when we did a grow up where people one parent, one parent kids, single mother, single father, kids that come school and them discipline never so hard. You know what I mean? So a lot of things contribute to what we are seeing now in the classroom. A lot of things contribute now what we are seeing at the kids. Because remember, the man a burn up baby. You know what I mean? The man a go
Yes,
shoot
yes,
past. The man them a go shoot past in a church. You know what I mean?
yes.
Them thing they unheard of, you know what I mean? So it's a thing we cross the society, you know, but you know what I mean, we prioritize because of the kids. But it's a thing where we see the trajectory from in my community. It's a community now, it kind of depends on the calm now, but it's a community we're ridden with crime. And in 2002, 2003, when SM St. Mary Banana Estate was closing its doors to be this big giant exporter of bananas. I look for one of my friends and I tell him, say, the next 15 years we just a start suffer for this, you know, because it was the main contributor to our economy back then. And if there is nothing to replace it, who can run as budget say go and run, but who can't run will have to stay. And when them stay, where them have to face are just travesty. You know what I mean? So we see where the cause and effect maybe not the same time so people don't link them together. But if you understand, you can say something will go wrong after this movement, whether today or tomorrow. You know what I mean? And then we have a government now where I don't think care enough. You know what I mean? I don't think the government care enough about what go on in the country because I think the legislations know where they are queued toward making money. There is nothing skewed towards running the country as far as me, because as much as me know say from a government level, me not think say crime controllable as we're doing it. But there are more disciplines we can put in place. We are going to contribute to at least the management of the situation where we have. You know what I mean? Because we have had people in the past that managed it, never solved it, because it's not a situation where you solve based on killing unless a genocide, unless you go kill out, because if you kill a man father, him son coming for you. You know what I mean? So we have to think about it from a level where how we are going to deal with it nationally, how we are going to stem it nationally, how we are going to contribute to the stemming of crime nationally as government. And that are going to come from up there. My little office, I can say my part, but even as a member of the People's National Party and as a comrade, you know what I mean? Me think that at this point the philosophies and opinion of Marcus Garvey should matter. You know what I mean? And him have a constitution in somewhere where him did right for a country. But maybe not need it that radical. But I could visit it now and start talk about changing the Westminster system, the same system will lead you in a slavery. You know what I mean? So it's a call for me, you know, where represent of the people attack the government, because my job is to carry a message from the people to the government and from the government and carry a response from the government to the people, because I think we're doing it wrong, because I think the message is coming directly from the government and nobody no want to listen to what the people are saying. You know what I mean? So my responsibility, I think a part of my responsibility is to carry that message. And I think the Westminster system need for go. You know what I mean? I don't think we need the Queen to exist. Maybe we did think we need them one time. Well, the King no. We did think we need them one time, but I don't think we need them now to exist. We need our own constitution. And then we can operate off our own. Because we know exactly how we're going to start and how we're going to end up to create our own constitution. So that I might cry on behalf of the people to the government of any day. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man.
All right, we know we're out of time, but there's another thing, and this is from me, having a conversation not too long ago with a teacher, and this is where I
Yeah.
realized that the classroom is no longer the classroom that we were used to growing up. And I don't know, but scamming have become rampant across the island, across the world. Because you go back to Nigeria and them places, they do it. But this teacher was having a conversation with him. And he actually was a teacher in Jamaica. I remember I said was.
Hold on. Ian, here we are going with scamming at the wrong set of people in terms of status quo a scam. Because Columbus, it scam Jamaica and scam America from the Indian them, you know. So the scamming not just start just now, you know, it's just now that the poor people start to scam. So now it become a problem and a one man a scam everybody in the world now. And the rest of the world I try scam everybody in the rest of the world.
Well, like that, I'll tell you now, because really and truly, from this conversation, it's like the classroom become a place for it. So this teacher tell me, say, guess what? Them they are school and them have a group of youth where them just gather at daytime in the classroom, most likely to the back of the classroom. All them depend is them phone, them tablet and them laptop. Not doing schoolwork, but other activities they're involved in. And them same see it over and over and them kinda let it slide. Even them I try get across the message. And them say one day him just get up and him say, yo, I gotta deal with that situation today. Man say get up and him decides him I go down the back of the class and pull up them youth, back in the days, they wouldn't even get away that for so long. Man say, but you have to be mindful of your life in them days. The man say, yo, him just get to him, say, boy, you have so much parents in the community that try so hard to send them youth to school, we know the hard job that them have to do for really get them in the classroom and try to steer, keep them away from the crime and the violence out there. Him say, yo, it's his responsibility now if you go pull up them youth there. So him go over there and him say, yo, wanna come out of school for waste no matter time or no matter money or whatever. Might as well stay home or so him say, yo, when the youth stand up, and say, yo, teacher, tell us something, we respect you, but we tell you something. I feel like we not watch you, We've been watching you for years. The man say, you come in here, you take on people problem. I mean, say, parents send them kids go to school. You just get them out here. Every day you come here, you can take on people problem. And we are watching your life. The man say, yo, you still a walk to school. Nothing go on there so. Man say, when him grown, him say, guess what? You them out there drive big vehicle. Them not drive.
Markets and Crown.
Yeah, man. The man say, yo, the
youth. On the tool, man.
The man say when he got the youth, them say, teacher, I tell you, I respect you, but you do all of this, and it seems like you still live hand to mouth.
Mm-hmm.
The man say, Knute, the man say he could have never find another word to say to the youth them. Because really and truly, youth, I say, yo, what you have take much years and you can't even drive a car. At these, they might take for do the same thing. So why you ever tell me no teacher? Say, yo, if you go through the whole system for how many years, then we have to go back to college and all of them things. You understand?
Mm-hmm. Well,
I want to live like you.
Hmm. I want to tell you,
The man
yeah.
say, the man say he hit him at that moment. He hit him on the spot, and him say, him basically look like him take a vacation, and him say, him come up here. Him say, yo, not be like him and go back down in the classroom. Man, one seriously, man, pivot. Kind man say, him look on himself, he analyze him life, and say, yo, really and truly over them years, him not make much move, because as you said, the money where them pay them,
well,
the money, the maga,
well, at the
can't,
same thing. At the same thing, me I said earlier, the government no
yeah, man.
business
So
with the
it
teacher,
tie
and the
into that,
teacher no
man.
business with the pitney.
Yeah,
So at the
so
same
that's
thing,
how
but I want to tell you, say, it's not unique to your friend where you have the reasoning with, because my mother tell me of a similar situation in Maryland, you know what I mean, where she taught for 5 years, because after my mother finished teaching in Jamaica, she decided she had to travel the Caribbean and teach and come to America come teach. My mother is 70 and still a teach. You know what I mean?
real
Because
teacher.
yeah, really, you know what I mean? She's tried, well, 5 years now, she's been trying to retire. And every year the school beg her to stay on one more year because she's strong and she up and she know what she about. And so she said, why not continue? You know what I mean? So I'm blessed with them, the lineage. You know what I mean? We're blessed with that. You know what I mean? So she in a Maryland and she tell me say regular kids them come in and say, Miss Barkley, we love you. Just give us a fortnight salary and we turn it in a real money for you. Regular them tell her that. You know what I mean? So whether scamming or slinging drugs or whatever it is, you know what I mean, is the mentality, is the end game the youth them interested in, I know, the money. And if them can do it without reading field, meaning go tertiary and get education or even complete in high school, because a lot of them drop out and drop in our situation where nobody where we know we go through a system can accomplish. You know what I mean? It not live long. Adapt the thing when we try to show the ones them say it might happen now, but how long it gonna be happen for? You know what I mean? Yeah, somebody if you not stop, which you gonna go back to the cause they not care what you did think you have. Anytime you stop, it gonna take just a short while because the mannerism where you will develop through this money I gonna cause you to spend off all the way you have if you not have a reservoir one, which you don't, and if this money not keep coming, you know what I mean? So how long it gonna come? So how long you gonna live? And them tell you straight if a 1 month better than them live them entire life.
All right, Newt. Guess what? Sorry for cut in, but we've been out here longer than we think. Guys know I am a cricketer. Still, I play the game called cricket. Go a cricket to the come in. The phone batch here and a little dead. So guess what? I'm gonna give you a few minutes to just wrap it up. Make the people them know why them need to vote for Newt. And basically anything you need us to know in the wider community. This is your moment. This is your minute. Take it and we'll probably follow up later on.
Yeah, man. Well, reason to vote for Knute because Knute a good youth. You know what I mean? So um, I care. Knute cares. You know what I mean? Knute really care. Knute care not only how the politics run, but Knute care how you eat in the morning and Knute care how you eat in the evening. So we always have to try to put things in place to make sure people eating. You know what I mean? And meaning whatever it is, we have to go exploit all the different avenues that are not politics that can help the community at large, which will in return help the politics. You know what I mean? So there are a lot of different ways that we can use, and our community is one which known or called trouble community. And there are a lot of grants, there are a lot out there. There are a lot of grants out there for community like ours. So we're going to utilize a lot of those to build different facets of the community, whether it's through agriculture, fisheries, or whether it's through art, whether it's through entertainment and sports, because anywhere, any facet of the community will bring it together we will be paying attention. But, or as I said before, and I can't stop repeating that our focus should be and will be in Anata Bay on the things that can make Anata Bay move. Agriculture and fisheries. We had down the sea there, we had one of the first seaports in the country, you know what I mean? And we used to, this is where we used to have boats coming into Anatabi Harbor. So, you know what I mean? We've been there because from Henry Morgan time, Anatabi, I wanted one of the trouble grounds where it was a seaport, you know, so anyway, it was a seaport them time that we did have to fight the battle. You know what I mean? So you can look forward to decent, decent trajectory in terms of growth because we have to, you're going to vote for somebody that really will be mindful of our community growth and will be doing everything in my powers to make sure we grow and keep growing. And that is all walks of life, all with special attention paying to the future, which is the youths today. You know what I mean? So it's not that I'm 100% dealing with youth because everybody that live in the community I'll serve. And when you vote for me or you don't vote for me, when I am victorious, I will serve everyone. So it's not a matter of so what my aim is to, you know what I mean, get the whole bipartisan thing. Have a community working together. I don't matter where you vote for after the election day. We support whosoever is elected through the process to lead. You know what I mean? So that's my final 2 cents on that.
Newt, I just want to say it was a pleasure, just sitting in and just having a conversation with you, just like from way back in the, let's say 1997 started,
I
just
know.
always interested around you and even the youths that follow you, Jesus. Done.
Yeah.
Ah.
Ian, you there?
Okay, guys. So I'm quickly back. Sorry about that interruption there, but as it is, I just wanna again say thanks to Knute Barkley for coming on here, and definitely he had shed a lot of light, in terms of what he's gonna be doing for his community. So we just want to say a big thank you to Knute Barkley, for coming on here, and thank you guys for viewing. All of the followers, we just want to ask that you continue to support him and show him some love. If you're in the division, and for all my friends and family on here, we just want to say we thank you for coming on. So together we rise, building our nation. As I say, one help the other. Thank you.